So let's talk a little bit about some of the implications of institutional change. I think that it's important when you're going to move an agenda this big that has huge implications on your college, that you start thinking about your own role as a change agent and where you are, where you feel comfortable right now, because where you are right now may not be where you are in a year from now, right? And everybody's in a different place, sort of, in how they see themselves, and we're going to talk about where you see yourself. But the institution needs you to be a leader. Now, the way that you define yourself as a leader may be very different depending on what your role turns out to be. But notice kind of at that fundamental level, that level one of change agency is just really accepting the need for change, right? You've got people who you're working with who are not on this grid, right? They're not at level one. They have not yet accepted that there's a need for change, right? And so part of your job is just to even bridge level one with not on the grid, okay? Because if you would even say to yourself, I'm really kind of at entry level here. I know we need change. I can communicate a need for change. I'm not really sure what that change is, but I can get behind it if somebody can communicate it to me. That is a huge step when you compare yourself to people who are not yet ready for change, and you have a lot to contribute to your college, even in just saying, let's talk about what change might mean, right? Let's be open to it, as your president said. Let's think about the what ifs. Let's think about the possible selves that we could be, right? Because that's a conversation that some of your colleagues are not yet willing to have, right? Y'all with me? Yes. Okay. So level two, someone who defines and initiates change, knows what the leverage points are. Maybe you've led an initiative within your department, or you've initiated a change in your individual class, right? Or you've been involved in a campus-wide change initiative, right? But maybe on a smaller scale. A lot of you are probably at that second level. At level three, you're really translating for the organization. And if you're not at level three, I believe very strongly in a year or so, you're all at least going to be at that point. Because that's what being an ambassador means, right? It's not just that you're supportive of change, but that you're helping to translate that change into action, okay? Level four, managing complex change, understanding the cultural dynamics. And then level five, a champion for change. And when I talk about distributed leadership, what I mean is that an institution that is moving in the direction of changing the needle, right, moving a bar graph, is a place where there are champions for change at every corner of the institution. That means at your executive management, your president is certainly a champion for change, right? At the middle management, the dean levels have to be champions for change. The faculty have to be champions for change. And the classified staff also have to be supporters and champions for change, right? So you guys may be at the very first part of that revolutionary step, but what I think you're all moving toward is this idea that your institution can be better. We're going to revisit this, but I at least wanted us to have a vocabulary about thinking about where you are as a change agent, because I know one of the things that's important when you're looking at institutional change is to think about not just how your college is changing, but how are you changing inside as you change your college, right? Because it's not just the change happening out there. You'll change too, right? And so there's an evolution kind of at every level of the institution, and that's what will propel the culture into a different place.